Alright guys, it is quiz review time. So, we're just going to jump right on into it because all of this is review. It's all stuff that you should know already. So, we are going to determine if each of the following relationships or relations is or is not a function. Now remember, when it's a function, our x cannot repeat. Okay, and then we're going to state the domain and the range. So look at our first one. These are our coordinate points, okay? So remember, our coordinate points, our first number is our x, our second number is our y. So we need to see if any of our x's repeat. So let's take a look. We have 1, 3, 5, and 7. Do any of those repeat? Nope. So then, yes, it is a function. But don't forget, it also told us to state our domain and our range, okay? Alright, so for my domain, I don't think I got out of shot. Okay, cool. Thought I got out of shot for a second. So for our domain, whenever we have coordinate points like this, all we're going to do is list them out. So 1, 3, 5, and 7. And then same thing for our range. And 8, and need to be in order from least to greatest. Alright, so for B, this very first bubble are our x's. Okay, so tell me, is it going? Okay, that's 1 and 1. So yes, okay. Alright, so our x's and 11. And then make sure that they're in order. Good so far? Means y. Here, the negatives, because it's not a function. 2, 0, so 10. Is our y. Alright, sorry about that little mix up. Yes, it is going to equal 23. I had a moment of not being all there. Okay, and so then we are going to do f of 1, and again just substitute it in everywhere you see it. So 2 times 1 plus 3, and then you should get negative 19. And then finally, f of 7 will equal 7 minus 4 times 2 times 7 plus 3. And again, if you just type all of this directly into your calculator, you'll get negative 61. Okay? Alright, so that means that our range, sorry, I ran out of space. I wrote too big because I'm trying to make sure that you guys see everything, would be negative 61, negative 19, and 23. Okay? Actually, no, sorry. You have to do it in the order that it gave you your domain. So 23, negative 19, negative 61. That was my bad. Okay? Alright, so range, you just follow it directly in the order of which it gives you your domain. Okay? Alright, and so then you'll do the exact same thing for B. So B tells us to do our domain for 2, 4, and 6. Alright, and so then your range, I'm just going to give you the answers, guys, because you guys are good at evaluating. You can evaluate these. So your range should be negative 26, negative 40, and negative 54. Okay? So if you didn't get those numbers, you probably did something wrong. So try it again, alright? And then finally for C, your range should be 44, negative 68, negative 138, and negative 208. Okay? But I showed you how to do it in example A, so you should be able to do it for B and C. Alrighty, and also make sure you do show your work. I realize that there's not a whole lot of space to do this, so just staple your scratch sheet to this. Alright, so for number 3, we are going to evaluate the following functions. Well, under range, so I know you guys. So we are 4 times negative 2 gives me that 5 plus 8 will give, and times 6, because we're inside of our 24, negative 19, and minus 14. And if I'm going to keep 5, 7 up in my head, this is incorrect. I'm going to have 5 minus 5 from both sides. Divide by negative 3. Sorry, I was going to be the exact same to 23. 5 minus 3, 28 equals 7. For number 4, f of 40 inside the parentheses. Whew, come on. So, evaluating the function. All we did was minus 5 minus 4. Where I said I messed up, set the 5 minus x equals 17 to get x equals negative. Because 5 from both sides to get x equals 7. Or use the graph to answer the number, and these are our y's. So I'm all the way down here. Good. Alrighty, and we're back. So we need to find the is left, whoops, to right. And then our range is bottom to top. Right? Oh my gosh, we start right at this point here, okay? So that means that my domain is going to start at this negative 8. You okay with that? Let's see, making sure we're okay. Alright, and then, it's a little fuzzy. Let's see if I can get this closer. Doop, 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 doop. Sorry guys, I thought I had it all set for you guys. Oops, that would be my pen. There we go. Okay, that's a little bit better. So we have this negative 8, and then we're going to go all the way to the right, continuing on and on and on until we get to this point to the right. Because this is our farthest most point to the right, which is positive 6. And remember, we include them in the brackets because we're able to actually graph those points on our graph. And then for our range, we're going to start at the bottom and go up, 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 up until we hit our point on our graph, which would be negative 2. Okay? And because it's an actual point on our graph, I'm able to say negative 2 with a bracket. And then we're going to go up, 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 up until we hit this point here. And that's at the point positive 5. And so what am I going to put around that? Exactly, I'm going to put that bracket. Okay? Alrighty, and so then we're done with that one. And now we're going to go to B. B is a little bit tricky, but I believe in us, we can do it. Okay, so the reason why it's tricky is because of this open circle right here. Now remember, open circles mean that they're not actually a part of our graph. They're like a jump space. So when we do our domain from left to right, yes, our graph does start at this point, but we're not able to actually draw it in and be like, this is a point on my graph, because it's an open circle. So when we go down to the negative 4, when we do our domain, we're going to have a parentheses in front of our negative 4 because it's not actually included in our graph. And then we're going to go to the left, to the left, to the left. Sorry, to the right, to the right, to the right. I don't know my directions. And we're going to end up right here at this spot, which is our positive 8. And that one can be included because it is a dark circle. Okay. And now for our range, we're going to go bottom to top. So we start at the bottom and we immediately hit our point right here. And since it is included, we get to have our bracket with negative 5. And then we go up, 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 up until we hit our open circle again. And this open circle is going to be this positive 4. But remember, since it is that open circle, we have to have our parentheses around it. Okay? Alrighty. Take a look at those for a second. Make sure you understand them, alright? So now, we're going to do, it's tricky to see because my thought that yours should be after school job coaching is $8 and no more than 20. And the equation 8 points to model this represents the number of hours is if this data. Now, what 1 hours? An hour and 2 minutes. It's all the way. So yes, this one is have to think about 60 seconds, which is a minute in her $8. Okay. Okay. Less than. I'm hoping your answer. This is our domain, but we're going to give us our 0. It's included because I am that she can work hours. 20 hours. So 20 hours, but she can. And so we did this earlier. Main inch. Okay, 8.25. We would substitute 20, and that's our range. So Danica 6 cakes a day can be used to model or continuous. We're going to look at our x's as cakes. Good. Well, no, make 1 cake numbers. And so going to be just, we need to, as we said, do the whole numbers. 0 4 time and on me. Alright, so 0, 25.96, 0.91.92, and then 6 would give me 70. So all I did was it wants what the point 4 is our x, or and then what then Danica